Recently, my wife and I were privileged to share at Trinity Chapel, and we picked the topic of 10 ways to help your kids catch the faith. And I gave this illustration of playing catch with your children, and nobody tosses the ball to their 3-year-old, and after they've dropped it, not caught it the first time, walks away and says, you're never going to get it. I'm not going to play catch with you anymore. No. We work with them. We keep trying to help them get it. And obviously there are some children that have more of a propensity for some athleticism than others. But the point is that you don't just toss your kids the ball, and nor would you just toss your kids faith and pass on that faith that is so precious to you without investing time to help them catch it. And so I just want to share a couple thoughts from that message that my wife and I shared. And it kind of comes out of this notion that in that passage in Deuteronomy 6:4-9 that says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. These commandments I give you today, and they are to be upon your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your foreheads and write them on the door frames of your house." And then we can never talk about passing the faith on to our kids and recall a passage from Proverbs 22:6 that says, "Train up a child in a way he or she should go, and when they're old, they will not turn from it." And too often we make that a promise, and that's not a promise, it's a principle. And so, again, Dee Dee and I shared with our students here at Trinity just 10 principles, and I just want to leave you with 2, what we consider to be the top 2 that might help you and just remind us to be faithful in passing on the faith to that next generation, whether it's our kids or our grandkids. And so, in the spirit of a board game or the spirit of a TV game show, we number two is be in love with your spouse. Best friends forever. Your kids, our grandkids need the assurance that mom and dad are crazy about each other and that they remain committed to each other, even in disagreement. I remember growing up, my dad would get home from work and the first thing he would do was embrace my mom. I never doubted that he didn't love her and that she didn't love him. And that's so important to our kids. So love your spouse. In the ministry that you're in, love your spouse first and foremost. And then number 1, and this links very closely to something we had for number 6, which was being authentic. But number 1 is you can't possibly pass on your love for Jesus to your children and your grandchildren if you yourself are not in love with Jesus. And Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." First rule of leadership, don't ask your people to do something you're not willing to do. And we can't ask our kids to be sold out to Jesus. Be pure in heart and eyes, forgiving, obedient, full of the Holy Spirit, have a good attitude about volunteering at church if we aren't also willing to live for Jesus in the same way. And so I just encourage you to pass the faith on, invest in your kids, your grandkids, or those that are in the next generation that are younger than you, and spend time to ensure to help them catch the faith. God bless you. Have a great day.